everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am Melody. I am the author of One Big Mess, which I'm going to talk about a little bit in this video because I want to talk about what I would have done differently when I was self-publishing. And so I've only published one book, and this is a young adult contemporary. And I do have some things that I have been thinking about. I've been thinking about what's going to happen when I publish my next book and what things I might do differently next time. And so I thought I would make this video to tell you what I would do differently, just in case you're wondering about self-publishing, in case you have some questions about it, if you're wondering what path you should take. Well, here is my opinion, and this is what happened with me with One Big Mess. Now, to recap, if you have not followed my channel, I published One Big Mess back in June 13th, 2021. It was my first book, my debut book, and like I say, it's a young adult contemporary, and I did a paperback and I did an ebook. So what I did was I did the ebook through Amazon and Drafted Digital. Now I gotta be honest, as far as the ebook is concerned, I don't think there's anything I would have done differently. My strategy was to go direct with Amazon, so I uploaded the ebook directly to Amazon's website. And then with the other vendors, I went through Drafted Digital. I got into Kobo, I got into Apple, I got into Barnes & Noble, and several other places. But that was the path that I took for the ebook, and I have no regrets about that. Now, I could have, if I wanted to, I could have gone direct with Kobo and Apple and Barnes & Noble, but I just didn't feel like I had enough time to do all that, because it takes time to go to each individual platform and upload your book, and it just takes a lot of time, and I just didn't have a lot of time. So that's why I used Drafted Digital, because it really just helped me get into all of those other vendors, and then I didn't have to worry about wasting time. And you know, sometimes if you can do something to save yourself a little bit of time, it really is better in the long run, even if it means like a little less of a profit. So when you go through Drafted Digital, they do take a small little cut of your royalty, and then like if you go through the platforms directly, you get like a bigger royalty cut, because like, you know, Kobo takes like a little percentage too, you know what I mean? So it gives you a little bit more money if you go directly with the platforms, but you lose all that time. So, you know, it's just worth it. It was worth it for me to save a little time. I would not have done anything different with the ebooks. But now, what would I have done differently? I definitely would have done some different things with this paperback. Oh gosh, let me tell you. If you watched my release day or release week video that I did, you know that the launch for this book did not go exactly as I had planned. Oh, it says temporarily out of stock. Okay, that sucks. I am going to go check and see what is going on, if it's still showing out of stock. If it does show out of stock, I am going to be really upset. Yeah, it's still temporarily out of stock. So what's going on, Amazon? Like, I don't understand. I was in for a surprise when I went to Amazon's website and I saw my paperback, my $14.99 paperback. The price had been jacked up to like 18 bucks. That is like so like not cool. So yeah, I had some problems. I had problems with it being in stock. I had problems with the pricing. I had all kinds of problems. But now not everything was bad. So what went good? The book cover, amazing. The book cover was amazing. Now I did do the print book through Drafted Digital. I got into the Drafted Digital print beta, which is still in beta, but it still works. They just have it in beta because they're still trying to test out some things and get some feedback and all that, but it still works. It's kind of like Ingram Light. And yeah, this is my paperback that I got through Drafted Digital. And I mean, like, here's the interior of the book. It looks beautiful. It's not, the image is not blurry. Here's the back of it. Here's the spine. Beautiful book. No regrets about that. But there are some things I would have done differently, for sure. The biggest issue I had when I was self-publishing was Amazon. And you know my feelings about Amazon. I have a love-hate relationship with Amazon. I do love them, but they are very, very, what's the word I'm looking for? They really, really want to push authors to use just them. You know what I mean? Like, they don't want you to go anywhere else. They want you to use just them. So that is why I went direct with my ebook, because I knew I was going to get more profit from Amazon. Amazon is the big giant beast where most people buy books, at least in America. And so that is why I did the ebook directly. Now, I should have gone directly with a paperback as well. I really should have. I didn't quite think it through because I thought, well, okay, I'm doing the paperback through Draft Digital, and Draft Digital will send the book to Amazon. No problem. Like, there's no problem there, right? Well, yeah, there was kind of a little bit of a big kind of a hiccup. There was some issues I had. Because I did not do my paperback directly through the Amazon platform, Amazon got a little, They just kind of decided that they didn't want to really push this book. They were constantly pushing the ebook. They didn't really want to have the paperback. So I thought, looking at the other platforms and what they were doing, I thought my book was going to be on Amazon, my paperback, I should clarify. I thought my paperback was going to be on Amazon for $14.99, which was what I had set the price for, because that was what it was on Barnes & Noble. Let's take Barnes & Noble, for instance. I had uploaded my ebook through Draft Digital, and Draft Digital distributed my ebook to Barnes & Noble. Great, no problem there. And then, as a bonus, my paperback got sent to Barnes & Noble as well. I didn't know it was going to do that, but it did. So Draft Digital got me to Barnes & Noble, and it, like, both ways, you know, through the paperback and the ebook. So that was awesome. And when I looked on the Barnes & Noble website, my prices were correct. There was my ebook, and then there was my $14.99 paperback. No issues there. So Barnes & Noble had no problem. But when it came to Amazon, Amazon said, $14.99 paperback? No, we're just not even going to sell that. But we're just going to sell your ebook, and then we're just going to let the third-party sellers sell my paperback. And that is exactly what happened. And I didn't think that was going to happen at first, because what had happened was when I had the book up for pre-order, like, for some reason when I did the Draft Digital print and it was sent to Amazon, it was on pre-order. It was for pre-order for $14.99. I was very excited. And once my launch day came, my paperback was temporarily out of stock. My pre-orders that people had put in were not fulfilled. And they were just pushing third-party sellers that were selling my book, and they were not selling it for $14.99. They were selling it for $17, $18. Sometimes my book was on there for $30 or $40. Like, seriously, like, why would anyone, I would not want anyone to pay $30 for this. No, that's just ridiculous. And I really do think that hurt some of my sales. I was reading on Twitter, I think it was like last week or the week before last, and there was someone who was like, oh my God, this self-published author, she's got her book. She wasn't talking about my book, by the way, but she was like, oh my God, this self-published author has got their book for like $40 on there. Like, why would anyone pay for that? And I chimed in and I said, it's probably one of those third-party sellers that are jacking up the price. And there was another comment too that was related to that, and so I don't think everybody realizes that that's what's happening. Like, I'm not setting my book for $30 or $40. That's the third-party sellers overcharging for it. And I think because I went through Draft Digital, I guess I love Draft Digital. Don't get me wrong, I love them, but I think because I went with them, I ended up in that situation, and can't be sure, but I think part of the problem is that because Drafted Digital, they send your book to Amazon, yes, but I think they send it to Amazon's extended distribution, which if you do a paperback or an ebook on Amazon, you'll see this. But I think there's like a little checkbox where you can decide if you want your book to go to extended distribution. And I have been told that you don't want to do that. Like, I think it really just cuts into your royalties when you do that. And I think it kind of basically adds like another, I don't really know exactly the whole reasoning. So maybe I'm not going to say anything because I don't want to say anything wrong. But I think I have just heard that you don't really want to do the expanded distribution for some reason. So, and I think that's what Drafted Digital is doing. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't really know. But this book got into all these different kinds of sellers that were then selling it on Amazon for way more than I had set the price for. And so I was really, really upset with that. And I have tried to solve the problem. I had emailed Amazon. I had emailed Drafted Digital. I had emailed Amazon first. I was like, hey, can you price match this book? Because look, it's on Barnes & Noble for $14.99. It's on Books A Million for $14.99. And you're selling it for how much? Way more than that. And it really wasn't Amazon who was selling the book. It was really these third parties that were selling it. So I don't know what happened. I guess Amazon just decided they didn't want to sell the paperback. I don't know. So that is what I would have done differently. That's one of the things I would have done differently. I would have, first of all, directly distributed to Amazon to make Amazon happy, because I feel like if I had directly done my paperback on Amazon, Amazon would be, they would be happy and they would actually have it listed for the correct price. So I don't know if I can do that. I don't know if I can go back. I feel like if I do go back and to Amazon and try to do a paperback through them, I think I'm going to run into like duplicate listings or some issues or errors or problems. I did email support. I emailed Amazon and I asked them if I could do that, and they said I could as long as I had the copyright, which I do. But I don't know. It's just, I feel like it was just such a canned response, and I don't really feel like they really answered my question, like, because I brought up some issues that I was, had concerns about, and they didn't address any of those. So I just don't know what I'm going to do with this paperback. I think I'm just going to at least just try to keep pushing people to buy this book on Barnes & Noble and Books A Million, because you can get it at a more reasonable price. Now, I don't know if that'll change in the future, but I know Amazon, they don't want to sell this book. So that was my first mistake. I did not go directly through Amazon. Now, the other change I would have made, the other thing I would have done differently, is I would have bought my own ISBN. Now, you don't actually have to buy the ISBN. You can use the free ISBNs that they provide for you. That's totally fine. That is what I did last time, because I just had so many expenses with the cover design and the editing and all these other things that it was just one more thing. And I was like, oh my God, I just can't deal. Like, what's the harm in using a free ISBN? They give it to you. Why not use it? So I used the free ISBN. And I think that was what the problem was. I think that caused the problem. Because if I had used my own ISBN, if I had purchased my own and I had used my own, I think I would have had more freedom to distribute my book where I wanted to. So, like, what I have learned is that what I should have done, I should have first made my paperback book on Amazon with my own ISBN. Then I should have done like something like Ingram Spark. I think that's like the workaround. Like, you can't prevent them from distributing from Amazon. Like, you can't like say, no, I don't want you to distribute to Amazon. Don't distribute there. But if you have your own ISBN and you got your book on Amazon, then when Ingram Spark comes and they try to distribute your book to Amazon, they say, oh, no, that's the ISBN is already on there. Like, that book is already on there. Well, I guess we can't do that. So I think that is the workaround. I think that's what I need to do. Now, I think you can do that on Draft Digital too. And I actually emailed support and I asked them, I said, hey, I'll read my email. I said, hey, if I buy my own ISBN and make a paperback on Amazon, can I then use that same ISBN I bought and make a print book with D2D? I know D2D print distributes to Amazon, so I wasn't sure if that would mess anything up or break any rules. Now, I got a response back from Draft Digital, and they said, Draft Digital automatically includes distribution via Amazon and Ingram, plus their respective expanded distribution channels. Using the same ISBN or distributing the same book via both services will only result in distribution issues, which typically result in your book being blocked from distribution through our service or Amazon's. So they're saying if I do that, if I have my own ISBN, I go through Amazon, and then I go through Draft Digital, there's going to be some kind of error. But I don't know, I'm thinking the key is will result in your book being blocked from distribution through our services. I think that's kind of what I want, basically, but I don't want, like, Amazon blocking me, you know. So that's what Draft Digital support said. But I was listening to a podcast with Mark Leslie Lefebvre at Draft Digital, and he kind of made it seem like, to me, like, from what I got from that interview, I think he was saying that you should go through Amazon first, and then, you know, you go through the other ones with your own ISBN. And so, I don't know, I think he was kind of hinting that it would be okay to go through Draft Digital as long as I had my own ISBN. Like, I don't know, I'm so confused. But I do think that is the key issue. I think that is where I messed up. I did not buy my own ISBN, and so I did not, therefore, have control over where that book was distributed. So I'm going to do some more research on that and see if I can figure out. Because then I was also listening to Dale Roberts. If you watch Self-Publishing with Dale, he also advised that you get your own ISBN and that you go with Amazon first, go directly with Amazon, and then he said you go through Ingram Spark second. And he also said when you go through Amazon directly, make sure you do not click that button for expanded distribution. That is the way he said you're supposed to go. So I don't know if I'm going to maybe go through Amazon and then maybe do Draft Digital or Ingram Spark next time. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I definitely know I am buying my own ISBN. So that is the second thing I would have done differently if I was self-publishing again. If I was self-publishing One Big Mess again. Now, the other things I would have done differently when I was self-publishing, and these are just like little things. First of all, I forgot something pretty important in this book. I forgot to write an acknowledgements page. I cannot believe I forgot that. Like, I was so concerned about getting all these other things right that it just completely slipped my mind to make an acknowledgements page. I should have done an acknowledgements page to thank my book cover designer, to thank my editor, to thank all the people who read this book and supported me along the way. And I did not do that, and I really regret that I did not do it. And I probably could go back into the ebook and make one, but it's just so much work, and I'm just kind of moving on. I don't have time. But I think for next time, I will definitely make sure I include a proper acknowledgements page to thank the people who helped me get this book together. And so I hope no one's like upset that I didn't include acknowledgements page, like, you know, but I personally was upset that I missed that, and I will do better next time. I'm sorry. And the other thing was the copyright page. Now, I just did the generic copyright page through Draft Digital, which is fine, but I just didn't really I wasn't really crazy about the wording. I just want to do a little bit different. So I would have done the copyright page. I would have done like a different one. But it was just easier for me to just click the little box to have Draft Digital just do their automatic copyright page. But yeah, just the wording of it. So I think that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. No changes to the ebook, except maybe, I forgot to mention, I think I should have uploaded to Google Play because Draft Digital does not distribute to Google Play, and I could still do that. I just have not looked into it yet. I haven't really explored Google Play, but I probably should do that. But really the main thing I would have done differently if I was self-publishing One Big Mess again is I really would have purchased my own ISBN, and I would have done that paperback through Amazon. I think if I had done that, I would not have had those out-of-stock issues and the third-party sellers overcharging. I mean, I may still have third-party sellers overcharging the book, but as long as I had done that paperback directly through Amazon, I think that would have made the Amazon beast happy, and they would be promoting that book over the third-party sellers. So yeah, lessons learned. But I don't have too many regrets because you know what? You can't really know how things are going to go until you do them. So I tried it out and that's what happened. And now I know what I can do next time. So that's all I can do. All right. I'm going to wrap up this video now. Thank you so much for watching my video. Please give me a like if you find this content helpful. It does help my channel grow. And I'll see y'all next time. Bye.